Hello, my name is Loretta Barr, and I'm president of Access Seminars and Consulting Services. What we're going to talk about today are resume types, and sometimes you may hear them referred to as formats. And with that said, when we look at resume types or formats, what we're trying to do is present ourselves in the best light that will work for us doing our job search. So let's look at the three types of resume and why they're resume types and why they're so important. When you write an effective resume, that means you are presenting yourself as a well-qualified, interesting individual who has the skills, ability, and knowledge and talent that would work really well in a particular company. In other words, it's your sales pitch. And there are three general types of resumes that are typically out in the job market, and you'll see variations of them. But what we're going to cover are three basic types. The first one, as you'll see on our slide deck, is the chronological resume. And if you think of just two things with that, it is time-bound and it goes back 10 years. Now, you may be asking, well, I've worked on that job 15 years or more. When you've worked on a job 15 years or more, you do have to put the starting time there. But if you have not, if you've changed like most people these days, changed jobs several times, just only go back 10 years. The second type of resume is the functional resume. And the role of it is to present your best skills and abilities, but it's also something that you can use to smooth out gaps. Sometimes people have been out of the workforce for a while. Sometimes it's because of parent care. Or it could be because you were raising children, or it could be for some other reasons. You were not available due to a variety of reasons. What you want to make sure you accomplish with a functional resume is to be able to show how your skills and abilities fit that position without worrying so much on when you did those particular skills or where you did them or how long ago you did them. Then the final type is the combination. And the combination resume takes elements from both. Sometimes it may have a time associated with it. Sometimes it's just a skill that you want to associate with it. So we're going to look at examples of each type of those resumes and talk about why it works and how it can work best for you. So let's take a look at the chronological resume. Keep in mind that a chronological resume always starts with your current job and then goes back for 10 years unless it splits the time. So with a chronological resume, employers love those the most because they're the easiest ones for them to review. They can look at where you were in your last job and then where you were previously and then where you were previous to that. That gives them an idea of what you've accomplished, what your career path has been, and whether or not you're a fit for their position. Generally, they're going to consider that very last job that you had, the one that you used that you are maybe in transition on. They're going to look at that and see whether or not that's a fit for their current needs. That could work for you if you're looking for the same type of job, or it may be that you might have to do some variation to it. The functional resume is the one where you organize by skills, functional areas, or by skills that maybe you used in a previous job that you want to use now. In some cases, it could be because you've been out of the workforce for an extended period of time. I can tell you honestly that employers like this style the least. So I always advise my clients that when you use this type of resume, make sure you give them still a timeline, maybe on the second page or the bottom of your first page, if you're doing a one-page resume. Make sure you put in there where you were and how long you were there. Month and date or month and year are fine. Now, the reason some people may use a functional resume is that maybe in their last job, they did things that they don't necessarily want to do again. What if a person decided that, you know what, I was in law enforcement and now I want to be a teacher because that was where my education was, it's where my heart is, and I want to go back into a teaching position. Well, a chronological resume wouldn't work for that person. That person then can put together a functional resume, and in that functional resume, they can only focus on the education experience, the people they taught, the type of courses they taught, and any teaching awards they may have received. Now, because I believe in putting the timeline down, when they put their job history at the bottom or on the second page of their resume, they would have on there law enforcement and then teaching. So with that, that gives them an opportunity to sell their best skills first and then give the honest history of where they were. But on that first page and that first upper half, that's what's going to sell an employer on you have the skills that we're looking for, so they may give you a call. The third type of resume is the combination resume. This is one in which you're taking elements of the chronological resume and the functional resume to make your best pitch. As you notice on the example that we have on our slide, we have a skills list, and then we have some areas that are strong points for that person. At the bottom, we would still put a job history, but we would focus only on those things that that person wants to make sure are highlighted in their background. When you position yourself in the best light possible, you are making yourself more available to employers who are seeking people with your skills. Keep in mind that your resume is a sales piece, and its only job is to get you the interview. It does not get you the job. It should get you the interview. So choose the format that works best for you in your job situation.